Oh, we've already got a few comments. Cool. Give me a sec, I'll just have to share this into the Discord and we'll get underway. There it is, look. YouTube videos, no. Stream links, there it is. Okay. Alrighty. Alcatraz to motor someone. Yeah, there's a few. 4 of them, I think. There's one where I lose my mind. There's one where Alcatraz takes someone out. What are the other ones? Let's see if I can't find it. Oh my goodness. How about this, people? A full grid in Formula 2. I never thought I would see the day where I see a full grid in Formula 2. And what a circuit to go to. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, 4.36 kilometers. Monza-esque circuit. It's long straights, broken up by chicanes. There's plenty of overtaking opportunities on this circuit as well. Particular hotspots such as turn 1, turn 8 coming after the second DRS zone, turn 10 which is the hairpin before coming onto the long straightaway, and of course the most legendary part of the circuit, the Wall of Champions chicane. We might see a bit of carnage here today for round 3 of the DRS Formula 2 Championship, as drivers are now preparing for one-shot qualifying. 1 lap, 1 chance, and they will dictate the grid for the feature race here at Gilles Villeneuve. This is going to be one hell of a race, people, a full grid. This is going to be epic. As drivers are now coming onto the circuit, who are we going to pick on? Probably Schmidt. Schmidt's a good one to pick on. The Arden drivers. Let's get the telemetry and the lap data up. Gilles Villeneuve, not a very long lap. It's actually one of the shortest in Formula 1. But there are plenty of places to catch you out. The turn 3 and 4 chicane, very easy to cut. Very easy to get a warning. Very easy to get an invalidation. Through turn 6 and 7, another chicane. Schmidt is still currently the fastest as Reedy retires from the session, coming onto the second DRS straight. Hard on the throttle, 6th gear, almost 280 kilometers per hour into turns 8 and 9. Coming into what I assume is the slowest corner on the circuit as Semi-Pro retires from the session. 3 drivers have retired from the session. The turn 10 hairpin through the small kink of turn 11 and another small kink of turn 12. Now down this long straightaway, coming up to the most iconic part of the circuit, the Wall of Champions chicane. We will see plenty of chaos here and in many other parts of the circuit as well. And it appears as if Schmidt is going to get pole position, and he will just, and I mean just, gets pole position by 18 hundredths of a second, almost 2/10. You can see they're disqualified from the session, so it's not drivers binning it into the wall, it's just drivers cutting corners, which is incredibly easy to do around here. So Schmidt gets pole and the 4 points that go with it. Todster, the defending champion, starts from P2. Dermy starts from P3. Aussie Rizzy Rick P4. Corrupted P5. Expert P6. Breno P7. Sideshow P8. Phil MC P9. Can't Do Crap P10. Alcatraz P11. Papa G P12. Galas P13. Blocky Rex P14. James Cruz P15, semi-pro safety car Pete. Really? False Equation and Reedy, all of them are disqualifying things that this place is just warning heaven, really. This, and I think Spa, Russia is another circuit I can think of. It's just warnings galore here. So penalties are going to play a massive factor here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve as we go on to the feature race drivers making just small adjustments to their setup in preparation for what's going to be an absolutely phenomenal race. Session timer counts down. Everyone is ready to go. 20 drivers, people. 20, a full grid. I've never witnessed something like this before. It's a beautiful sight to see. So, let's have a look at what tyres these guys are on. What have they decided to go on? It's fairly mixed, but the popular one is the Super Soft. Schmidt will start on the Super Softs from pole position, so you will expect him to get a very, very good start off the line. Todster in P2, opting to go for the soft compound tyre. Dermy P3 on the Super Softs. Aussie Rizzy Rick, Corrupted and Expert, all on the soft compound tyre. Then you got Breno, Sideshow, Phil, Can't Do Crap, Alcatraz and Papa G, all of them are on the Super Soft tyre. Galaz and Blocky Rex, they're on the softs. James, semi-pro safety car, Pete Crichton, who is going to make up a lot of positions, absolutely tearing his way through the field. False Equation, P19 and Reedy will round out the grid of 20 drivers. Wow. Oh, it's a bit laggy at the moment, I have to say. Ooh, who is that? Is that Papa G? No. Who is that? Oh, it's P. Okay. I'll just check something. One device connected. So 20 laps. 20 laps of this place. This is going to be amazing, I think. Oh, it's very laggy though at the moment. Oh. Very laggy. As the drivers all lining up on the grid for what is going to be one hell of a race. Oh, strap yourselves in, audience. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one hell of a ride as we've got 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go here at Montreal. Schmidt doesn't get the perfect of starts. Todster is right alongside, but Schmidt with the inside line. He will take the lead coming into turn 2. Aussie Rizzy Rick and Dermy are side by side. There's a lot of drivers on my side. Oh, and who's that has spun? I think that's Phil MC who spun. Well, half spun coming through turn 1. But amazingly, oh, hang on, Corrupted. He is plummeting through the leaderboards. He's gone into the wall coming through turn 4, and he is dropping like a stone. Down the order he goes. How many positions has he lost from that? 10 places. From P5 down to P15. Oh my goodness me. Doesn't appear to be any damage though. So he can continue on. And I think he's on the soft compound tyre. He is. So he's going to be running long in this first stint. That's one positive he can take away from this. Let's look at this. Sideshow Prod and Breno side by side through turn 10. Sideshow on the outside. Oh my goodness! Breno is in the wall at turn 11. Oh, when he comes onto the circuit, oh my goodness! What a chaotic start! We'll go back. Oh, Sideshow's not done. He's going to have a look down the inside at the Wall of Champions. Side by side they go. Alcatraz might fancy himself overtaking two drivers coming into turn one. Will he do it? Will he be late on the brakes? No, he will send him behind. Sideshow. Oh, these guys are glitching around everywhere. No wonder they're crashing into each other. As Papa G goes horrendously wide through turn one. It's Alcatraz! Alcatraz in the wall! Coming out of turn two. He resets onto the circuit in reverse. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness the car's ghost. It's not so much of a problem when you reset the circuit and the car's ghost. It's when you've got that turned off, you turn yourself into a massive, massive hazard on the circuit. As we've got yellow flags. And it's dirty! It's dirty! He spun it! How? Explain to me how you did that. How did you do that? What laws of physics did you just break in order to achieve that? He's halfway down the straight and he's somehow spun. Okay. Can I go back up to the leaders? No, I won't. They've got a battle for P10 right now. Safety car and Galileo. Oh, in contact! Oh, it's just lag. Thank goodness for that. Look at them. Just jumping all over the circuit. It must be frightening for these guys to not know exactly where everyone is. I hope this is just me, that something I'm not actually quite see who that was. Oh. No, we're not done with the midfield. They're still fighting it out. They're fighting as if their lives depended. Look at that. 4 drivers. They're just side by side. The two in front were side by side. Galaz and Semi-Pro, their teammates, they were side by side. And these guys are battling as well. Okay, I'm going to have to ignore that for a little bit. I'm going to have to look at the leaders. Schmidt is leading the way, and he is pulling away. Oh. The session no longer exists. Ooh. What happened? Is the race still going on? Was I just kicked out? Ooh, hang on, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on here? Oh, get away with that warning. Bugger off. Okay. No, I was just kicked out for whatever reason. Well, damn and blast. Jesus Christ. Alright, we're back. For whatever reason that just happened. It still looks glitchy as hell, doesn't it? Communicating with online service. Oh, come on. Yeah, come on. Stop communicating. There we go. They're still jumping around, but not quite as much as they once were. Oh no, they're still jumping around like crazy. Okay. So, Schmidt leads by, I'm not quite sure by much. Doesn't appear to be greater than a second though. DRS has been enabled. As Rizzy sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 22.2. Rizzy is all over the back of Toddster. These guys are on the same strategy on the soft compound tyre, so they're running long into this stint. Schmidt, he'd be quite scared right now because these guys are still keeping up with him, but he's on the super soft tyre. We got yellow flags in sector 1. It appears to be Blocky Rex. It is. We got Semi-Pro into the pits and Phil into the pits. He's going on to the soft compound tyre and away he goes. Same with Semi-Pro. But he had front wing damage, I believe. Oh, he beat... Was he held? No, it's just a sort of delayed stop. Hopefully we didn't miss out on too much then. So Todster, Rizzyrick and Schmidt, this battle pack for the lead. Schmidt is going very defensive into the wall of champions, but Todster with DRS wide open. Oh! Okay, that scared me a little bit. I wondered why he went onto the grass, and that explains it perfectly. He was going into the pit lane. So, Todster now leads from Rizzyrick in P2, Expert P3, Sideshow. He moves into P4, Can't Do Crap P5. Let's have a look at the position changes. Garlaz, a big winner from the start, up 7 places. False Equation is the biggest winner for sure. Now up 11 places. Reedy up 10 places. And Pete Crichton, in his debut race in Formula 2, he's currently made up 4 positions from the start. That will be a warning for sure. Crossing the white line, coming out of the pits. James is on a... No, sorry, he's coming in for his first stop. That's quite unfortunate. I seem to have disconnected from the session for whatever reason. Rizzyrick and Todster. Rizzyrick, will he have a look? No, he won't. He will sit back in behind, coming into the Wall of Champions. But that was a lock-up from Todster. He gets a shocking run through the Wall of Champions. Rizzyrick around the outside with DRS wide open. They're side-by-side coming into turn 1. If Todster can hold it around the outside, he will have the inside for turn 2. He can't do it. Rizzyrick moves himself into the lead, coming through turn 2. Sideshow Prod and Can't Do Crap. They're now going into the pits, going onto the soft compound tyre. So pretty much all the soft runners are now starting to come into the pits. Battle for first is continuing to rage. As Papa G gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, penalties around here are, well, they're pretty common to say the least. Everyone in this lobby, I think, will get penalties at some point. It's just inevitable on a circuit like this, where corners are so easily cut like that, and gets a 3-second time. Yay, commentators curse. Don't you love that sort of stuff? More drivers in the pit lane, changing from the super soft tyre onto the soft compound. But Breno, will he come out in front? Yes, he will, of the Arden driver Alcatraz, currently in a battle for P16 as safety car. Gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We'll return to the battle for the lead because this is getting really intense. Todster and Rizzyrick. Todster down the inside into turn 1. But Rizzyrick holds the line coming into turn 2. And he'll keep first place as a result. We've also got a battle for 4th. And we got yellow flags in Sector 3. I think it's Dermy. No, it's not. We turn back to the leaders. Coming into the turn 6 and 7, chicane Todster, small lock up there. Gap has now opened up to... Oh, Todster into the wall! Coming out of turn 7, he put the outside wheels onto the grass and completely destroys the front wing in the process. He will have to come in. Otherwise, he's going to fall like a stone in water and just tumble down the leaderboards. Oh my goodness me. This has given a massive let-off to Aussie Rizzyrick. Exactly what he needed. Todster, after battling with Rizzyrick for a couple of laps, has heavily damaged his front wing. No, he's going to stay out. Now I think about it, he might just have to, on the soft tyre, he has to get up to, what, lap 14, 15? Maybe 13 if he wants to push it. My goodness. We'll go back to this battle, the battle for P4, Corrupted and Garlaz. Garlaz is having an absolutely superb race, up 8 places since... Oh no! Garlaz goes into the side of Corrupted. Unsettles the car enough and spins it round. The battle for P4 is no more. My goodness. Is there any other battles going on? There is one potentially that's going to develop for P10. Oh, P, my goodness, you were right up against the wall coming through turn 4. Bit of a scary moment there. So all of the soft runners have made their stops. Rather, the super soft runners have all made their stops. Everyone who started on the softs haven't. Blocky Rex, False Equation, Garlaz Corrupted, Expert, Toddster and Rizzy Rick. Now we've just crossed over the halfway mark of the feature race here at Circuit Jules Villeneuve. Expert, as you'd imagine, with Toddster's front wing damage, is gaining rapidly on his teammate. Coming through turn 5. This is where Toddster would lose a lot of time through these medium and high speed corners where you need the aero to stick the car onto the ground and give you plenty of traction to take it at high speeds. Without that aero, you just simply can't achieve those speeds. You won't be too affected on the straights, but through the corners it would be a massive deficit. Cars are continuing to jump around. Now, how will Toddster play this? Will he fight, or will he just let Expert pass? I'm not too sure what the defending champion will do. Coming into the wall of champion chicane. Expert not quite close enough. Over the curves they go as Toddster goes and bumps the wall. Well, that's what I see. I'm not sure if that's actually what's happened in the game. As he goes down the inside into turn 1 and uses all of the curb on the inside. Will Expert get a switch back? No, he won't. Coming into the turn 3 and 4 chicane. As Expert gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He might have a go down the inside. No, he's going to wait for the DRS zone. Toddster locking up a bit there. Sector 2 yellows. Anyone dropping through the board? Not really. Someone just having a little excursion off the circuit, most likely. Oh, and I think Toddster was in the wall there too. Oh, and they... Oh my goodness. They almost touched. That's a massive lock-up from Toddster. No, Toddster can't fight. Oh, and who's that? Who was that? That was sideways. Somebody was. I'm not quite sure who that was. There was someone who was on the grass on the inside of the hairpin. It must have been just again glitching out once more. Cars lagging and jumping all over the circuit. As we got this, fight for P7, Pete and False. Will False Equation do anything? No, he won't. Pete has a small lock-up coming into turn 13. And that's a nice thing about Canada. If you can get the job done into the wall of champion chicane, you get a second DRS zone to pull away from the driver you've just overtaken. It's quite a nice little feature. If you're daring enough to make a move down the inside at the chicane, the game, rather the track rewards you for it. Amazingly though, Toddster is still within DRS range of Expert. I wonder how he will play this. Will he try and go for the move or just stick him behind, I wonder? No, definitely going for the move around the outside. Once again, Toddster moves himself into second place. Coming into turn one. Expert surely won't have a look here. He's not quite close enough. He hasn't got the run. Semi-pro, 3 seconds. As Reedy DNFs himself, retires from the session. Got yellow flags out. Did he just retire in the pit lane? He might just have. Oh, this is frightening stuff. Seeing these guys lag all over the circuit. I hope this is just a stream. I hope this is just what I'm seeing and not what it's like on the circuit, because that would just be terrifying. Toddster and Expert. Expert might have a look. No, he won't. He'll just sit back, wait for the DRS zone. He'll make his move there. Oh, but he gets a small slide. A little tank slapper coming out of the hairpin. He does get DRS, but I don't think he'll be able to do anything with it. Go and have a look back. Garlaz and Schmidt. These two. No, it was Garlaz Corrupted that were fighting earlier. So Garlaz is actually losing time. I'd have to keep an eye on that. As Toddster pits. Lap 14 of 20. So including lap 14, he's going to have to do 7 laps on these tyres. Got sector 1 yellows. I don't know who that was. Where on earth is he going to come out? It looks like a comfortable P8. Sector 2 yellows as well. That might be Papa G. Most likely is. See front wing damage. Coming through turn 6 and 7. Sector 2 and 3 yellows. That's just sector 2. Oh, there's Papa G. He's just elected to retire. So Aussie Rizzy Rick is now into the pits. So is Expert. Will Corrupted follow? Yes, he will. Hard on the brakes. And a 5-second time penalty to go with it. I forgot to mention about this circuit, as Garlaz does the exact same thing. It's an easy thing to do here, especially when you're trying to push. Try and not lose any sort of time. It is incredibly easy to get a 5-second penalty here. You just go into the pit lane entry absolutely flat out, hard on the brakes, and even if you misjudge it by 1, maybe 2 meters, 5 seconds like that, there goes your race. So because of the pit stops, Schmidt now leads. Rizzy Rick now in P2. Pete, P3. He has made a superb jump. 15 places. Holy moly. And he's already made his stop. Yep, everyone has made at least one stop, one mandatory pit stop. So this is fighting for position. Has something happened to Toddster, I believe. And that's a car in the background losing it. I believe that's James. It is. That's a spin. Oh my goodness. Seeing these cars lag on the circuit. So Schmidt leads by only 1 second. That's all it is. And Rizzy Rick is on the superior tyre as Toddster sets the fastest lap of the race. Now, when this battle finally commences, I'll go back to it, but first I just want to see what the penalties are like. So Schmidt, as you can see, has none. Rick does have a penalty. That will be a 3-second one for 3 warnings. And Pete, 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Alright. So Pete is more or less out of this fight. But Rick has got a lot of work to do. He has got 4 and a bit laps to first overtake Schmidt, which is not going to be the easiest feat in the world, but he might just do it here. Coming into the Wall of Champions chicane. He'll now get DRS once more, Rick, but Schmidt is in his toe. So Schmidt will be right there, pretty much for the rest of the lap, I'd imagine. Has corrupted 3 seconds. Multiple warnings once more. Corrupted just sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:20.882, beating Todster by 1/10 of a second. And already Rick has built up a second margin, but Schmidt only just will get DRS, as Can't Do Crap and Sideshow Prod exchange places. Sideshow's having none of it though. He's going to get DRS on the straightaway just before turn 8, but he gets a shocking run through the corner. Loses a little bit of time, but with the DRS and the slipstream, he's a bit too far back to do anything. Oh, but he was a bit too late on the brakes. Almost goes into the back of Can't Do Crap. He's going to lose a bucket load of time because of that. Schmidt gets 3 seconds. That was Schmidt's leverage. He didn't have any penalties. Now he does. So, unless Rick gets another penalty, he has got this race in the bag. So currently the top 10 with... Oh, Rick, my goodness. That was awfully close. So the leaderboard with 2 and a bit laps to go. Rick currently leading on the softer, fresher tyre to Schmidt in P2, Pete in P3, which I don't think he'll hold for very long. He has got, I think, about 18 seconds or so worth in penalties. I might have exaggerated that quite a bit, actually. 3, 5, another 3. Sorry, 11. 11 seconds, that's a bit more reasonable. But how much will that drop him down by? 3 seconds plus 11, that's 14. He'll drop 2 places. Down to 5th at this stage. That's not considering, of course, everyone else who has penalties. Schmidt's not giving up on this. He's now within DRS range once again. Something that I haven't quite considered is how much the super soft tyre actually falls off towards the end of the stint. As you saw with the super soft runners right at the beginning, their pace really dropped off in the final 2 laps of their stint. And perhaps this is happening right now to Rick. Can he actually hold on as Semi-Pro retires from the session? We'll keep an eye on the times, but it appears there's a battle going on for P7. Can't Do Crap, Sideshow Prob and Garlaz through turns 3 and 4. Garlaz gets a 30-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We've got Sector 3 yellow flags. My goodness, how has there not been a safety car in this race? There has been that many yellow flags. Garlas and Sideshow both get DRS. What is Garlas going to do here? He's going to have a look around the outside. He might actually get this done. Oh, not quite. He has to cut the chicane. Sideshow's in the wall. He had to reset the circuit. Was that caused by the contact? I didn't get to see. I was going to say, where on earth was Sideshow? Gales cut the chicane. I thought Sideshow was going to storm on by, but he didn't. That was because he was in the wall. Doesn't appear to be any damage though. Very lucky for him. As we come on to the last lap of the feature race here in Montreal. And Rizzy Rick appears to have this only just. I think he'll get the win in the end. No one dropping through the leaderboard, so someone just having a little off-road excursion, most likely. What a drive, up 3 positions from the start, but clearly, what a drive. Got disqualified from the session, failed to use required compounds in conjunction with the mandatory pit stop. Alcatraz has been disqualified. My goodness, some drama right at the end as Rizzy Rick crosses the line to win the feature race here at Montreal, with Pete Crichton holding on to P3, so Expert had more penalties than Pete, or at least equal penalties. No more. The gap between these two was 3.2 seconds. They finished, obviously, almost at the same time. He had an extra 3 seconds worth of penalties. But Todster, defending champion, very limited on his penalties. He will finish on the podium after crossing the line in 5th, after breaking his front wing, battling for the lead. At least he got a little bit of redemption after making that mistake, getting a podium, getting solid points, looking to defend his Formula 2 title. But what a sublime drive from Aussie Rizzy Rick, winning by a single second to Schmidt. But Pete Crichton, from 18th to 4th in 20 laps. That has to be a drive of the race performance. Wow. That is absolutely superb to get through all that relatively unscathed. Yes, a lot of penalties, but still, wow. Are you pitted on lap 3? Yeah, okay, so as the podium celebrations are going on, I'm going to explain something quickly that I recently learned about Formula 2. Now, there's 2 key rules you have to sort of abide by. And one of them is apparently, in order to do your mandatory pit stop, you have to pit after lap 6, either on or after lap 6. But the other important one is, if you pit under a virtual safety car, it will not count as a mandatory pit stop. You have to do another pit stop. It was something I found out recently after doing a commentary stint with an American league. Disqualified about 3 or 4 different drivers. But the results for the sprint race here in Montreal: Rizzy Rick P1, Schmidt P2, Tulsa P3, Pete Crichton P4, after finishing in P8. I think he'll be pretty keen for this race. Still overcast conditions, but no signs of rain. As we go on to the sprint race. Lap 5, okay. Yes, congratulations, Rizzy Rick. I imagine you would be, after fighting hard with Todster, but Todster making that mistake, he'd be gutted with that. Yes, after lap 5, you have to make a stop. But another thing, you cannot pit. Oh well, if you do pit under virtual safety car, it will not count as a mandatory pit stop, which I suppose is a fair enough rule. I suppose. So, 14 laps here at Montreal. Let's have a look at the grid. Sideshow Prod will start on pole position after finishing in 8th place. Can't Do Crap will start P2. Corrupted. Oh my goodness, you have got to be kidding me. The pole sitter has left the session. Oh, he'll be absolutely furious about that. Can't Do Crap will start P2. Corrupted P3. Expert P4. Pete Crichton, I think, might be a favourite to win this race. He'll start P5. Toddster P6. If it's not going to be Pete, I reckon it might be Toddster. He might be driving a bit more angry after what he did in the feature race. Schmidt will start P7. Aussie Rizzy Rick P8. Garlaz was a driver who finished 9th. Breno rounds out the point scorers from the feature race. False Equation P11. Safety Car P12. Filled MC P13. Blocky Rex on the grid starts P14. P16, there's a driver missing, is James Cruz. Semi-Pro P17, Papa G P18, Reedy P19, and Alcatraz, after being disqualified for not complying with the rules, will start from dead last. He's going awfully slowly. For some tactical reason. He's going very, very slowly. Very slowly. Ah, that is why, of course. He probably invited Sideshow back to the session. So good, our pole sitter will actually compete. Thank goodness for that. I would have loved to hear his reaction though. Would have been colourful, to say the least. All the drivers lining up on the grid. Some of them drivers are a little bit far behind. Just reduce the temperatures, unsettle the pressures in the tyres. Everyone will be starting on the softs. There's no way they're starting on the... James Cruz is on the super soft. Ooh. Alright, here we go. We don't need tyres. We'll get change of position as we now have 5 red lights. Breaks out and away we go for the sprint race here at Montreal, and Sideshow Pro gets a horrendous start. He's going to get gobbled up by Can't Do Crap and Corrupted. Oh, and he half spins more or less, but who's that? Corrupted. He's going to lose a lot of places there. That's what happens when you connect side pods more or less. Just rotates the car around. Everyone appears... Oh, that's a massive cut from Blocky Rex. Oh, and that's a driver facing the wrong direction. It's safety car. Thank goodness he ghosted. Otherwise, that would have been a monumental accident. Oh, and Alcatraz is semi-pro. Alcatraz, be careful with that, mate. Oh, and who's that who has spun? It's Papa G. He now falls down the order. Look at these guys all lined up. Oh, is that someone in the wall that I couldn't see there? No, it's not. Just someone who got incredibly loose coming out of turn 9. Safety cars retired from the session, and we have 3 wide coming out of turn 10 into turn 11. Down this long straightaway before the wall of Champion Chicane. It is 3 wide with some of these guys trying to find some slipstream, trying to find a toe. So, oh, it's going to be 2 wide into the wall of Champions. This is going to be bad. Who's that? Rizzy Rick? No, it wasn't. It was Can't Do Crap who cut the chicane. He cut the chicane. He has to give back the position, as Fernando Alonso would say. 5 seconds is a yoke. A yoke. The drivers are coming through turn 2 now. Look at them, all line astern. So, with lap 1 finally completed, Expert leads away from his teammate Toddster in P2. Rizzy Rick P3, Pete in P4, Can't Do Crap P5, losing 3 positions from the start. Breno, a big jump up from P10 to P6. Schmidt P7, as we already have drivers who've got time penalties, as Papa G has left the session, and we got sector 2 yellow flags. It's someone who spun. It's Sideshow Prod from starting on pole, and he breaks the front wing to go with it. I love to hear that reaction. Oh my goodness. I hate to be in that party chat. He'd be going off his head right now after what he did just then. Oh, he's going to put it in the wall. He's going to say hi to the fans like what Alonso did when his Honda engine gave up. What was that? Back in 2016, I think that happened. Oh, poor Sideshow. What an opportunity to score some really solid points, and just very unfortunate for the dude. It's Pete Crichton, already 3-second time penalty. Already to his name. Just back up briefly to the leaders with DRS enabled. Totsa is actually falling away from Expert here. Expert appears to have very good car pace. Gap opened up just a bit below 1.5 seconds. Rizzy Rick in P3 right up in behind Totsa. He'll get DRS down this back straightaway. Blocky Rex, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. All these drivers, Liner, Stern, coming onto this long back straightaway as someone has spun. It's Alcatraz going very slowly through the chicane. This has not been a very good race for him. Go back up. Got a battle. Look at these guys. Is there Schmidt and Breno? Garlaz is just in behind this, coming into the turn 10 hairpin. There is that much going on. I don't know what to look at. It's Rizzy Rick and Todster. I'm not sure if they made contact. Definitely looked like it. Rizzy Rick, is he going to have a look down the inside? Yes, he will. Will he get the job done? Yes, he will. He moves himself up into P2 and closes the gap to Expert. It's now under a second, so he must have made a mistake, a small mistake, but it was enough to bring Aussie Rizzy Rick into... Oh, as I say that, Rizzy Rick goes horribly wide through turn 1. And Breno appears to have lost quite a few positions. Oh, hang on, there's someone who's spun. It's Expert, it's a race leader. Spun out. Okay. What on earth? He has spun out. Through turn 2, he has thrown his chance of victory away. Aussie Rizzy Rick now leads with Pete Crichton in P2. Todster right in behind in P3. This is thrilling stuff. A three-way fight for the lead as Pete goes awfully sideways. Coming through turn 9. Leaves himself incredibly vulnerable to the defending champion Todster as Schmidt and Canted Crap side by side through turn 11. Schmidt will get the cutback. What a move from Schmidt. Great racecraft from the Arden driver. Just to put the car in the right place, get the switchback and get back to the position. And neither driver gets DRS as well. They both cross the DRS detection zone at pretty much the same time, so neither of them get DRS as Canted Crap cuts the chicane. Once again, that's the second time he's done that. I'm assuming... Well, he hasn't got penalties. It would have come up with the prompt that he got penalties, so he must be only getting warnings. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This battle pack, and there's more behind. Got a battle for P10, which isn't, unfortunately, a point-scoring position. Got Sector 1 yellow flags. Oh, look at them. They're all bunched up now, coming through turn 5 into turn 6. Such a nice flowing complex. Oh, how have they not touched? Managing to give each other enough room. Fantastic racing. Garlaz, P5. Canted Crab falling to P6. Breno, P7. False Equation has now brought himself into this. These three have been battling so much. Oh my goodness gracious me. As much as I want to look at that, there's also a battle for P2 at the moment, and Todster lights it are coming through turn 11, and that brings Schmidt into this as well. So Schmidt, he too has race pace, very good race pace. Sector 1 yellows once more. Is that James? I reckon it is. Yeah, it is, and he somehow spun on the front straightaway. Not quite sure how you do that, but he did it. He's exploring different racing lines. I think that's the only way I can describe that, to be honest. but he's still fighting on, and it's great to see. Pete and Toddster both get 3-second time penalties there, but Pete has another 3 next to his name. All the more work to do, as we got Reedy in the pits, replacing a front wing. Look at this, these guys are still fighting. Garlaz has pulled away though. He's now got a 1.1 second margin back to Breno. False Equation has now moved up into P7. Can't Do Crap has fallen down to P8. Let's see. Going back up with the leaders. Schmidt is now really involved with this, and Toddster. He's now right up Pete Crichton's gearbox. DRS wide open. Right in the slipstream. There's not a lot Pete can do. He'll look to the outside. Into the wall of champions. They'll be side by side. Oh, contact! And Pete into the wall. And Schmidt, he'll be the happiest man alive. He's going to get both of these guys, I think. Will he look down to the inside of turn 1? No, he won't. But he got a position for free. Toddster and Pete side by side. Oh, speaking of side, that's 3 wide. You're not allowed to do that through turn 1. My goodness. And they're 3 wide, or almost 3 wide once more. Garlaz and False Equation, they're going to be side by side through turn 3. Garlaz with the inside line. Can't Do Crap gets a 3-second time penalty, as Can't Do Crap gets a massive run through the chicane. Into turn 6 and 7 we go. Oh my goodness me. Oh, but Garlaz gets a horrid run, and into the wall he goes. Corrupted, he'll get a free position. He moves up into P8, the last point scoring position. Oh my goodness me. Alright, back up to the battle for second place. Schmidt and Toddster. Pete, does he have... Oh, he has a lot of damage. That is a completely destroyed front wing. The front right of that wing completely destroyed. Semi-Pro has left the session. Where on earth? Oh, Pete. Oh, my goodness. Another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. What can Schmidt do? I don't know. That might be investigated afterwards. That incident between Toddster and Pete Crichton. Side by side through the wall of champion chicane. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Holy moly. And Garlaz gets completely eaten up. Sector 2 yellows, it's James once more. Look at this, a 4-way fight! 4! Can't Do Crap, False Equation, Corrupted and Garlaz. All of them battling for P6. All of those positions are point scoring, and look at this, only 1.5 seconds back, and it's another group of drivers. Alcatraz, Semi-Pro, Blocky, and not too far behind them is Phil MC as well. This potentially could turn into an 8-way fight for 6. Imagine that. 8 drivers. It's entirely possible because Alcatraz is gaining big time. He's now almost within DRS range of Garlaz. Holy moly. Just briefly back up to the leaders. Schmidt has lost time to Toddster as we got sector 3 yellows. Is that James? It is. Look at this, look at this. Oh my goodness me. This is France all over again. But this time it's with 4 drivers and they're all battling, driving 100%. Garlaz goes into the back of Can't Do Crap, no damage. Look at this, Alcatraz is right there, he is right there, and just in behind him is the Kiwi Blocky Rex, and just in behind him is Semi-Pro, who has unfortunately left the session, I do believe. So I think that's his AI in control of the car. Oh, is that someone who's fun? No, thank goodness for that. Pete Crichton, another 3-second time penalty, into the wall, heavy damage to that wing, oh dear. But he's still hanging on for potentially a point scoring position. Oh, look at this, side by side. Can't Do Crap loses position, and Alcatraz is in this, ladies and gentlemen. Holy moly. We've got 5 laps. Oh, in contact between Can't Do Crap and Alcatraz. No, was it? I believe it was. Holy moly. The gap has opened up though. Between Can't Do Crap and Corrupted. It's now 1 point. Oh, hang on. Pete's into the pits. Pete is into the pits. He can't last any longer. He's going on to the super soft tyre. Let's go out and set some fast laps, mate. Very unfortunate to see. So we've got a battle for P5. We've got a battle for P7. Can't Do Crap, Garlaz, Alcatraz, Blocky Rex, Phil MC. They're all involved in this, guys. They're all involved in this. What's that? 5 drivers fighting for 7th. And with 5 laps to go, anything can happen. My goodness me. And Alcatraz, what a after being DSQ'd. Oh, that's a... As I say that, he goes ahead and absolutely butchers the chicane. But up 11 places, the biggest winner in terms of positions gained in the field. The next driver is Aussie Rizzy Rick, currently leading, starting from P8. My goodness. So here we go, Garlaz and Can't Do Crap. Alcatraz, Blocky and Phil. They're still all line astern. I imagine this will start to take off with a couple of laps to go. False Equation and Corrupted through turn 2. Then this battle pack of 5 through turn... Oh my goodness, False Equation has spun and damaged, I think, that front wing right there next to him. He was fighting for P5 with Corrupted. That has ended. He has fallen to 12th, well outside of the point scoring places, and proceeds to retire from the session. That is incredibly unfortunate for him. Alcatraz now up 12 places from the start. You can see Blocky. Oh, come on, fellas. Stay on the island, for crying out loud. That'll be False Equation's car that's causing the yellow flags. As False Equation... Oh, look at that! A whole heap of drivers very wide at turn 10. As soon as I look away from it. Alcatraz is now right in behind Blocky, who has somehow made his way past Alcatraz. Alcatraz around the outside into the wall of champions. Blocky cedes the position. Can't Do Crap once again cuts the chicane. Alcatraz now up 13 positions from the start. Oh my goodness me! Oh no, oh no, oh no! A crash involving 3 different drivers. Blocky Rex, Phil MC and Can't Do Crap, all of them involved. As Pete sets the fastest lap of the race on 1 minute 20.7. Oh my goodness, all 3 drivers involved. But the battle for P6 continues. What was a battle pack of 5 drivers, now a battle pack of 2. Alcatraz and Garlaz. Alcatraz again butchering that chicane. Coming into turn 10. One of the many overtaking zones on the circuit. You'll get DRS. We'll just have a quick look back towards these guys. This is for the final point scoring position. I don't think Alcatraz will make a move into the wall of champions, so I'm just going to take a quick look at the race director. We need to have a look at the leaders. So, Rizzy Rick has got no penalties from the looks of things. Todster does, he has 3 seconds. Schmidt, 6 seconds. Breno, 3 seconds. Corrupted, 3 seconds. So, Now, in context to that, Rizik with absolutely no penalties. He does not have any penalties. Tots to 3. Schmidt 6. Breno 3. And the gap between Schmidt and Breno, 13.4 seconds. So Schmidt doesn't need to worry about Breno at all. So Schmidt is going to be fighting for position if he can make up the time with 1 lap to go. The gap, 1.5 seconds between Todster and himself. Go back to this battle. Garlaz and Alcatraz. Garlaz using a wider line to get a better exit. Onto the straightaway they go through turn 12, the small kink of turn 12. Now they're coming up to the Wall of Champions chicane. As Blocky Rex is going awfully slowly. He must have had a small incident. Oh, Alcatraz cutting the chicane. Missing a braking point. With 1 lap to go, what can he do? Can't do crap, gets 3 seconds. I'll have a quick look at Garlaz and Alcatraz. Garlaz, how many penalties? 1, 2, so 6 seconds. Alcatraz, holy shit. That's about, what, 15 seconds next to his name? That's going to absolutely plummet him through the leaderboard. So although he is fighting for P6 on the circuit, he's got no chance at all of holding on to the position when the cars cross the finish line. But what a drive from Aussie Rizzy Rick after starting from P8. He has won the feature race. And he will win, I think. Wait. Oh, of course, penalties. I was going to say. Rizzy Rick will win the sprint race as well here in Montreal. Todster P2, Schmidt P3, Breno P4, Corrupted P5. Alcatraz finally gets the position but gets another 3-second time penalty in the process. He will not hold on to this position and he goes ahead and bangs it into the wall for good measure. How many places will he lose because of this? As we got yellow James once more. P8, P9, oh, he's outside of the points. Unfortunate for Alcatraz, but a great recovery nonetheless to start from dead last. Superb race for the ardent driver. What a race. And what a drive from Aussie Rizzy Rick. Winning the feature race and winning the sprint race as well. It is a clean sweep for Trident and for Aussie Rizzy Rick. Great boost in his championship chances. Wow. Wow. What a race. Those are two of the best races that I have ever seen. The first time we have a full grid in Formula 2 and we get something magical like this. Rizzy Rick will take victory and 15 points along with it. Todster P2, Schmidt P3, Breno P4, Corrupted P5, Garlaz P6, Phil MC P7, and Can't Do Crap will round out the point scorers for the feature race. Alcatraz a superb recovery, but no points for him. He will finish P9. Pete, after having that massive incident with Todster at the Wall of Champions, rather fitting really to have such a high quality driver crash at the Wall of Champions. He will finish P10, Blocky Rex P11, Semi-Pro P12, Reedy P13, and James P14. Still surviving. Might not be the quickest, but he can just survive. He just keeps on going. What a super trooper James is. But ladies and gentlemen, what a race. What fantastic races we've just had. Superb driving from Rizzy Rick. We had some fantastic battles, fantastic racing, chaos and drama, everything that Formula 2 just seems to provide. It is a very good racing series and it provides fantastic racing, as it's shown many times in the past, and it's shown us once again here in Canada at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And with the full grid, it just makes it 10 times better with the full grid. With everyone there and everyone competing, it is just absolutely brilliant. Oh. But stay tuned in DRS. Unfortunately, there will not be a green championship race on Sunday, as it is Australia Day. We have to go out and celebrate what all Australians do. Basically, drink beer and, well, that's about it, really. Drink beer. But we might be able to have the Blue Championship race potentially on Monday. We'll just have to wait and see. If not, well, I'm sure we can wait at least 1 week. But from what has been an absolutely superb race, thank you everyone for watching. I hoped you enjoyed this. Thank you all so much. I've been the Smeg, and good night.